the man, his 2 wives, and the magical dog. Chapter 1: A family torn apart by sickness. Once upon a time, in a quiet village nestled between rolling hills, lived a man named Gideon. He was married to 2 women: Isla, his first wife, who was gentle, kind, and beloved by all, and Nadia, his second wife, who was cunning and cold-hearted. Isla had 2 beautiful daughters, Lena and Alara, who adored their mother and shared a bond of love and warmth. However, fate dealt Isla a harsh blow. She was diagnosed with a strange and incurable illness. Gideon tried everything: herbs from distant lands, treatments from the finest healers, but Isla's health deteriorated rapidly. One night, as she lay in bed surrounded by her daughters, Isla whispered to them, "Isla, my sweet Lena and Alara, I am not afraid of leaving this world. But I am worried about you both. Be strong, and remember that kindness will always guide you, no matter how hard life becomes." Tears welled up in the girls' eyes. They feared not only the loss of their mother but also the cruelty of their stepmother, Nadia. Chapter 2: A dark shadow looms. Days turned into weeks, and Isla grew weaker. Gideon spent most of his time by her side, helplessly watching the love of his life fade away. Meanwhile, Nadia grew impatient. With each passing day, her greed and jealousy festered. She wanted Gideon's full attention, and with Isla out of the picture, the household would be hers to control. Late one night, Nadia whispered to herself in the quiet of her room, "Nadia, once Isla is gone, those 2 brats will learn what real discipline means. No more pampering. No more kindness." The night when Isla's strength gave out finally arrived. Surrounded by her daughters and husband, she breathed her last. Lena and Alara wept uncontrollably, knowing their world would change forever. Gideon, too, was heartbroken, but as a father, he vowed to protect his daughters. However, Nadia's true nature was about to reveal itself. Chapter 3: Nadia's Reign of Cruelty. With Isla gone, Nadia seized control of the household. She kept Lena and Alara isolated, giving them meager food and forcing them to perform endless chores. "Nadia, why should you eat like princesses? You are no better than servants now." Days stretched into weeks, and the girls grew thin and pale. Gideon was aware of his second wife's cruelty but felt powerless, paralyzed by his grief. One evening, as Lena and Alara sat by the fireplace, holding each other for comfort, Lena whispered, "Lena, if only there were someone to help us. Someone who could save us from all this." Just then, a strange sound echoed from the garden: soft footsteps, accompanied by the jingle of a bell. Chapter 4: The Arrival of the Mysterious Dog. The next morning, a peculiar dog appeared at their front gate. It had shimmering golden fur and eyes that sparkled like the morning dew. Around its neck was a small, silver bell that jingled with every step it took. The dog wagged its tail and looked at Lena and Alara as if it knew them. When the girls approached the dog, it licked their faces gently and followed them into the house. Nadia was furious when she saw it. "Nadia, get rid of that stray. It has no place here." But the dog would not leave. It curled up by Isla's old room and stayed there, as if guarding something precious. Despite Nadia's threats, the dog remained calm and dignified. Chapter 5: A Miracle in the Night. That night, something extraordinary happened. Lena and Alara were awakened by a strange glow coming from their mother's room. They crept to the door and peered inside. To their amazement, they saw the magical dog standing by Isla's bed, its fur shimmering with golden light. The dog's eyes glowed as it gently nudged Isla's lifeless body with its nose. Suddenly, a warm breeze filled the room, and Isla began to stir. Her eyes fluttered open, and color returned to her pale cheeks. The illness that had plagued her for so long was gone. She was alive. Lena. Mother! You're back. Isla sat up, dazed but healthy. The girls embraced her, crying tears of joy. Chapter 6: Nadia's Fury and Fear. The news of Isla's miraculous recovery spread quickly. When Nadia saw Isla standing in the doorway the next morning, she was shocked and terrified. Nadia! How is this possible? Gideon was overwhelmed with joy. He embraced Isla, his heart finally free of the grief that had consumed him. Nadia, however, saw her carefully laid plans falling apart. She knew the girls would no longer be under her control, and Isla's kindness would once again reign in the household. Chapter 7: Nadia's Wicked Plan. In desperation, Nadia decided to get rid of the magical dog. One night, while everyone was asleep, she lured the dog out into the forest, hoping it would never return. Nadia! If I can't control this house, I'll make sure that dog never sets foot here again. But as she ventured deeper into the forest, the dog's bell jingled louder. The sound grew eerie, as if warning her of the consequences. No matter how far she ran, the dog reappeared, its golden eyes glowing brighter. Chapter 8: The Dog's True Power Revealed. Suddenly, the dog stopped, and the forest around Nadia grew silent. The dog's eyes glimmered with wisdom, and in a deep voice, it spoke. Magical dog. You sought to harm those who showed kindness. Now, you will be judged. Terrified, Nadia tried to run, but the ground beneath her feet seemed to shift. A powerful force surrounded her, and she was trapped. The dog continued. Magical dog. Your cruelty ends here. This family will no longer suffer because of you. With that, Nadia vanished into the forest, never to be seen again. Chapter 9: A Joyful Reunion. The following morning, the dog returned to the house, its bell jingling softly. Gideon, Isla, Lena, and Alara welcomed it with open arms, grateful for the miracle it had brought into their lives. Isla, you are no ordinary dog. You are a gift from the heavens. The dog wagged its tail happily and curled up at their feet, content to stay with them forever. Chapter 10: A Happy Ending. With Nadia gone, peace returned to the household. Isla's kindness became the guiding force, and the family flourished. Gideon found solace in having his beloved wife back, and Lena and Alara grew up surrounded by love and happiness. The magical dog stayed with the family, always watching over them and reminding them of the power of kindness, love, and resilience. And thus, Their story ended not in sorrow but in joy, a reminder that even in the darkest times, miracles can happen, and love will always triumph over cruelty. The moral of the story is: this story teaches us that kindness and resilience can overcome even the harshest challenges. Love, when combined with faith, brings light into the darkest corners of life. And those who act with cruelty will always meet the consequences of their actions.